So the Shadowverse Worlds Beyond Grand Prix has got underway with the SVO Open Kickoffs. Preliminaries happening on July the 26th and 27th. The hype was real. Everyone was excited, and we had the biggest tournament in Shadowverse certainly in the West, I believe, that's ever been, with over 1,000 players registered and way more, hundreds more on the waiting list. So how did it go? Well, in a nutshell, it was a bit of a disaster, guys. I'm going to go over in this video a little bit of just a bit of a summary as to what went wrong with the tournament, and actually the organizers put out at one point a massive detailed apology. There's been some fallout from this and again with basically the second preliminary being cancelled, or should I say postponed to a later date, where they've even talked about doing possible changes to the format. My God. Let's jump into it, guys, and then what we're going to do is we're going to finish with looking at the winning deck lists from the tournament. I've got about 8 deck lists to show you, some really spicy stuff, so stick around for that. All right, so what actually went down in the first prelim? Well, basically, guys, I mean, I'm in the UK, right, and people were there registering at 4:45, like 4:45 p.m. my time, right? And bear in mind, people are playing this from all over the world. So some people are staying up late. There's all sorts going on. And to give you perspective, at 4:45, where people were registering, I then woke up at 5:45 the following morning, and the tournament still wasn't finished. In other words, people who played in this from start to finish were probably like registering and going through the whole process of playing for 13 hours. 13 hours, guys. I mean, seriously. I mean, I hope everybody is all right, actually. And if you did play in the tournament, you know, go drink a pint of water and get some sleep, because that's unhealthy. I know people were staying up, pulling all-nighters. 10 games is a lot. 10 rounds is a lot, which is what they played. But waiting over an hour per round is another thing. Anyway, let's jump into the apology from the admin. Hello, everyone. We'd like to offer our deepest and most sincere apologies for the unacceptable experience that many of you had during today's tournament. Our decision to switch to start.gg for this event was made with the intention of improving tournament operations, particularly regarding issues such as Discord integration. However, this transition was regrettably accompanied by a number of serious problems, both technical and administrative, that negatively impacted the event. We accept full responsibility for the following issues, and we're truly sorry for the distress and confusion that they caused. Now, check this out, guys. They go on to list 9 things here, and I'm going to break this down because this is crazy. Like, there's a lot on the line here. Number 1, during the transfer of waitlist, players to the main bracket, there was an error where players who had registered and checked in were removed from the bracket. The admin team attempted to identify the players who were removed and re-add them. However, a combination of delay on the start.gg platform and human error led to not all players being added back in. So in other words, certain people just went through all this rigmarole. It took about 3 hours to get into game 1. Imagine this. You signed up dead early. You did all the prep. You wait 3 hours, and then you get removed and not added back in. You didn't even play in the tournament. I really want to see what the remuneration and the sweetener is going to be from this fallout. Number 2, there was confusion over bracket. There was confusion over brackets that were revealed to the waitlist players that seemed to indicate they were added to the tournament. This was an error on our admin team's part. So now you're on the waitlist. You think you're in the tournament. You're not even in it. Number 3, changing round 1 matchups for pool 1. Our admin team had incorrectly set the visibility on the pool 1 bracket, which meant that players couldn't see their matches to check in and join. We opted to try to reset these matches so players would have the chance to play. However, this process was too slow with the tournament platform. So if you couldn't see that you checked in, like what happened? Did you get Did you get DQ'd? Did they get a draw? Did they get a loss? I know that there were some players who just didn't play the round. Like, this is crazy, guys. I've never seen anything like this. Players not being DQ'd and unable to report match results. Many matches are not updating from user submissions and require the tournament admins to use the backend to confirm results. This is compounding the tournament delays, as these need to be done on a one-by-one basis, and the admin team is encountering stability issues on the website. So you can't even log your result. You're having to manually... Guys, remember, there's 1,000 people in this tournament. Yeah, you're having to one at a time message admin. They're having to go through all the validity checks, and then there's a fault on the website with stability issues as well. This is why it was taking so long, guys. Over an hour per round. Number 5, players not being dropped from the tournament. The status of players who no-showed or dropped was not reflected in round 2 of Swiss. These drops were delayed due to the overall stability issues found within the site, and the admin team focused on keeping the tournament rounds advancing. So you're keeping the tournament rounds advancing, but I get to my next round and I'm playing someone who's DQ'd or dropped. Just imagine the confusion. Just imagine how many messages were coming the admin's way whilst they're trying to fix the technical. Oh my God. This makes me never want to run a tournament ever. Incorrect scores. Number 6. Some players reported incorrect scores, and we've addressed these on a case-by-case basis. So they've had to go back manually and fix scores that people entered that were wrong. Adding players from the number 7, adding players from the waitlist in the incorrect order. Players from the waitlist were added based on their check-in time rather than their registration time. So basically, people jumped the queue, right? You know, the waitlist is meant to be that when you register on the waitlist, you join the back of the list, right? The back of the queue. But basically, people would jump because they checked in before they actually got in. So even if you were on the waitlist, you may not have got your fair opportunity to play because basically, admin error, people jump the queue. Number 8, unable to check into matches. There seems to be an issue in Start GGG where players are unable to check into their matches, which causes further issues with match result reports. The admin team is working to support the users as we see reports. If you can't even check in to play your game, I mean, oh my good Lord. Number 9, delayed public deck list. Our admin team did not complete and post the public deck list in a timely manner. Well, that one's fine. I mean, that's about everybody seeing the deck list. We're going to look at the deck list now. I mean, guys, like, I really do feel sorry for whichever poor souls had to keep this ship afloat, because, my God, this does not sound fun at all, and they're probably suffering from some post-traumatic stress, quite frankly, from the pressure of it all. But I also equally feel really sorry for all the players who stayed up, waited 12 hours, people who didn't make it, who should have made it, all of those issues I've just covered. What an absolute disaster of a start for the official tournament scene of the game. It really is not a good look, and couldn't have really got much worse, to be honest. It's amazing they got through it. Right, but with that said, guys, let's now look at some of the winning deck lists. Alrighty. So with that said, this is where are we? Here we go. So this is kind of like how it all ended. So ultimately, you can see from the Swiss score that 6 players ended on 27 points. Now, given everything that we just talked about in terms of how this tournament goes, I'm not confident calling anybody the winner. Or even sure what this means, because, for example, Tutenbaron, who is kind of technically the top player, actually got a game count of 7 and 1. I'm not even sure what that means. Some have got 9 and 1, some have got 8 and 1, but you can see that all of them have got a set count for 9 and 1. So, you know, we're going to take the order of these with a pinch of salt, but I still think it's interesting to look at these guys and to look at their list. Now, I've got all the lists except for Itsuki Kanami, because I can't find his lists. Their lists, don't know. gender, irrelevant. So let's dive in and take a look at some of the lists, though, because they are kind of spicy. Let's look at Tootin' Baron first. So Tootin' Baron brought Swordcraft. Now, I do think we're going to have to look at the intricacies and the differences of some of these. Interesting stands out for me is the 3 Quick Strider and also no Samurai. That's like some of the things that really stand out for me here. Didn't go beyond Amalia in the late game and doesn't run any Genos either, but instead going for triple Olivia. So yeah, this was a Swordcraft deck. And also, let's just generate the QR code. There you go. Yeah. All right. Next up, he brought the Runecraft. I really like this list. This is a hybrid list where he's managed with he plays double Pascal, so he's and 1 Dark Science. He's got kind of like a nice blend of still being. I feel like Spell Boost traditionally was almost like turbo draw, right? Like you drew really quick. And some of the hybrid lists now, they're a little bit slower in the draw. Whereas this kind of feels like he's got enough rune in to be able to play Norman. But at the same time, he's kind of got some of that old school draw ability speed, if you like. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting... the rune lists are quite interesting at the minute if you just really dial into the subtleties and the detail of how they differ slightly. All right, next up, let's take a look at Macantor's list. Now, Macantor has brought Swordcraft. And as you can see, he has actually brought the Samurais. Probably interesting standouts here as that he runs a single Grimnar. I've seen a few swords doing that. Makes a lot of sense in sword, right? Because you, unlike most decks that obviously only have 2 Super Evo points, you're going to Super Evo potentially 5 times with Gildaria getting 3 Super Evos, which means that you trigger Grimnir potentially 5 times in a game. So actually quite like that tech. I think it makes a lot of sense. Also runs a single copy of the Urius, and he's also got the Genos and the Odin in there as well. So bit of difference there between that and Tootin' Baron's versions. Next up, he also brought Runecraft. Promise you, it gets a little bit more varied in a minute. And interestingly, in his Runecraft, he's definitely gone for a game that kind of like hybrid, gone for the Edelweiss as his payoff. Some people are running the late game legendary. We just saw in Tootin' Baron is kind of going a bit lower on the payoff cards and playing more of the kind of the draw. But this one goes with the 8 Edelweisses and the Flames as the additional kind of Earthright payoff. Okay, so next up, actually, let's just generate a QR code for you there. Okay, so that's that one. And then let's go back and get the Runecraft one. Obviously, you can just pause this, guys, and grab the codes. All right, next up, let's take a look at Yakisaba. Now, this is really interesting. Also went 9-1. Now, Yakisaba brought Forestcraft, and very interesting, he went with a combo Roach deck with double Limaga, and this to me looks very all in on the combo, right? Because he's really like even cut out quite a few of the early game 2-drops, for example, and stuff. So I don't know like how you get much chip damage from this deck. It seems to me that you're kind of like turbo drawing with the Garden Amulet and the Godwood Staff, really going all in on the combo and using Limaga to do a little bit of chip damage, and then finishing with big combinations. So this is an interesting one, definitely one I want to go and test a little bit myself on ladder. But interesting to see that Forest. And I do think that this type of like combo list is quite good into those 2 meta decks, the Rune and the Sword. Next up, he brought, there's the QR code, he actually brought Artifact. And this is the first Artifact deck we've covered, and you can see he is running triple Ancient Cannon. I think it's really cool to see, because I know a lot of people probably dropping it because of Odin being able to destroy the cannon. But actually going with triple Cannon and triple Doomright as well. So it's quite low to the ground, right? He's only got three selections that cost more than 5, right? And that's Sylvia, who's only got 2, Karula for 3, and Orcus only 2 as well. So very, very low to the ground in terms of the mana curve. Yeah, interesting. Forest and Artifact. We know that those two. I did think that this would be a good lineup. Actually, Forest and Artifact. It's very early here, guys. I did think that'd be a good combo because they're both good matches into Sword. And you knew Sword was going to be everywhere. Sword was the most played class in the tournament, if you didn't know. So a good choice, I think, overall. Good choice in decks there from Yakisaba, and it paid off with the 9-1. Okay, next up, let's look at Andoru's list. So Andoru brought Sword again. This time we can see he's got the Samurais in, he has got the Genos in, and he goes with a single copy of Urius as well. There is the QR code, and not too much difference. Now, interestingly, the rune, he's gone for like quite a few tech choices in here, right? So we've got a triple Pascal for the draw. He's actually got a single copy of Darkside. Darkside's a nice cheap removal in the early game, which is kind of good, right? Because it's one of Rune's weaknesses, is that sort of turns 1 to 4. So having something like Darkside, he's got a single copy in there. Just 2 Normans in this deck list. And he actually squeezes in a single Odin and a single Anthem as well. So quite a few like one-of techs, which I sometimes think like in a tournament scene, especially in a deck that draws through the deck very rapidly, having like one-ofs is good if you're a really skilled top player. It gives you options. It gives you the ability to respond to different board states. So kind of interesting there to just go with lots and lots of those tech choices. Did I show you the QR code? I think I did, right? There we go. All right, and then last but not least, let's look at Aerie, who also went 9-1. They brought Runecraft, and this time, though, we have got a pretty much dedicated Earthright deck, guys. Now, check this out. Really, really interesting, this deck. I really, really am kind of quite interested in having a go at this. Because what you've got is triple Anthem, so you really are going in on that payoff, but he's still got double William. So a lot of these types of decks don't run the William, and I feel like that AoE is a bit of a gap in the pure Earthright decks, but no. Double William in here, and double Odin as well. So if you want to play some Earthright, guys, this could be a nice one to go and check out. Let's give you the QR code for that one for sure. There you go. And what else did Avery bring to the table? He brought Aggro Abyss, guys. Now then, check this out. So he's got Aggro Abyss with a single copy of a Darkside in. Now, this is an interesting tech, right? Because obviously, we've talked about Darkside as removal. But, obviously, in this approach, this is an aggro deck, so we might actually see something like Darkside adding that extra 2 damage for reach. So a nice cheeky little tech there. Just a single copy of Baltro. I know some decks run 2 copies, so maybe that's where he's found the room for the Darkside. But other than that, I mean, the rest of the deck is like fairly standard, right? The double Olivia and double Odin at the top end. Actually, a lot of decks run triple Odin, so only 2 there. Yeah. So nice to see a little bit of variety there. Being able to go the full 9-1 with an Earthright and Aggro Abyss. So there we have it, guys. There was a little bit of a lot of controversy in this tournament, but a little bit of variety when you look at those top 6 players that got the top scores. Also, shout out to fellow streamer Prussia, who went 7-2. He's got a great YouTube channel, so definitely check that out as well. So yeah, that was it, guys. Hope you enjoy having fun with some of those decks on ladder. Go and test them out. It's always one of the most fun bits when we have a tournament, right? Is being able to see the decks and kind of like go and take them for a spin. So a lot of controversy on this one, guys. I'm not sure what the fallout's going to be. Really interested to see what happens with Preliminary 2. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. And I just want to say a massive thank you for all of the support. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. We're very close on 4K. I'm thinking of doing a big celebration, like 12-hour stream when we hit that. So appreciate all the support, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.